Everything the light touches is our kingdom.
I don't want them to gain another yard.
You blitz all night!
To infinity and beyond!
What? Did we just become best friends? Yep!
It's morphin' time!
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
10,000 years will give you such a crick in the neck.
What are you smiling about? Dude, I almost had you.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
I am king of Wakanda.
I am Groot.
I am Iron Man.
I am William Wallace.
I am Batman!
This is the Poi and Soy podcast.
Avengers!
Assemble.
Welcome back to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. You are here with the boys of Poi N Soy on our post-credits segment. Post-credits is the segment where we go through movies, TV, entertainment, and all the good stuff in between. I am your co-host, Nolan Chang, and with me as always is my longtime friend and co-host, Keoni McKee. Say what's up to the crowd.
Hi.
Hello. Well, we got a lot of news nuggets that we're going to get through today, and we're going to present it with some slides so that we give you a visual if you're watching us on YouTube. So stick around. Let us know in the comments after we go through each news nugget what you guys think. If you have the same opinion as us, if it differs, whatever it is, you let us know. Before we get to all that, we got to give a big shout out to our partners at W Energy, our favorite energy supplement coming in powdered form, coming in beautiful little tubs and delicious flavors. Whether you're gaming, working out, chores, errands, W's got your back. It'll get you through the day. So go to w.gg or the app W Energy. Use the promo code Poi N Soy, POINSOY for 10% off your order. Not only supporting them as a business, you're supporting us as content creators, and we appreciate you all for it. All right, Keoni, our first news nugget of the day. We've all been a part of, I guess you could say, the zeitgeist that is South Park. But apparently they've inked a new deal with Paramount that is coming in for a 5-year streaming deal worth $1.5 billion.
You're saying that South Park has inked a new deal with them?
Yes.
Wow, what a creative title you came up with.
This is the article, not my actual title.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's
No,
like,
shh.
just like,
You shut it.
you just said exactly what it says. Right
Anyways,
there.
well, what else am I supposed to say? Okay, Trey Parker and Matt Stone will be producing 10 episodes a year. Now, when you kind of break it down, that means that for each year that they're on Paramount, they're going to be worth $300 million each year just to have the whole catalog of South Park, plus just 10 new episodes a year. Main question, is this the fleece of the century, Keoni?
Wow, that is some dollars. Yeah, I mean, that's a very light way to put it. I will also say, though, I mean, Paramount Plus, what else did they got going on, you know? So, I mean, good for them. They get, a huge IP. If they continue to produce episodes, which they pretty much have continually done, right? Like how many years have they been going?
They've hit all the social, what's it called? Social diverse topics, I guess you could say, that really plague us as humans.
Yeah, no, for real. Yeah.
And I think they just had a controversial one with Trump right now with Satan or something like that. But either way, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So shout out to Paramount. Shout out to South Park. Goodness. That's... You imagine?
Do you think this is really going to provide more streamer revenue for Paramount? Or is it like...
kind of what I was thinking about, too, is like... how much of the world is still paying attention to South Park? I'm sure there's a good niche market for it, but it's similar to like when Simpsons joined Disney Plus.
Yeah,
didn't quite help their turnover. Yeah. So to me, I don't know that it's going to have that much of an effect. I mean, at this point in time, if you're one of those people out there who is the top CEO, whatever, for these other streaming groups that aren't Netflix or, well, I guess Disney Plus is up there, but, or Apple TV, stop. You know, just stop. Nobody cares about subscribing to your whatever for one show every 6 months. Like, stop it. Just let Netflix have it.
Like, I would say if this would be a little bit more incentivized or worthwhile if it was, South Park was making 20 something episodes a year, but 10,
Yeah.
really 10 new ones, like that's
Yeah. I
I'm
mean,
just
like,
not with
it's,
that.
like I personally, like, to put it out there, I subscribe to Peacock for The Office, right?
Yeah.
Love The Office. Will rewatch The Office for the rest of my life, probably once a year at least. Does South Park have that same appeal? I'm sure it does. However, are
Not
there
to
going to
me.
be people that are there going to be people that are going to subscribe to it specifically for that? Yes, but like, I'm one person. I'm sure I didn't make Peacock have this full 180 turn in subscribership. So, just putting it out there. It's going to be a very niche market. So,
Yeah. Either way, let us know what you think in the comments down below. Are you a big South Park fan who is or will be subscribing to Paramount for this catalog of N plus 10 episodes a year? Or is this something that you think is just kind of a waste of money on Paramount's side? The next news nugget. The next news nugget we got. Margot Robbie will be starring in a Tim Burton's Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. I never watched the original, which was, I think, back in like the 50s, 60s, maybe.
sounds like a movie that would be made in that time.
Yeah. It's one of the most iconic posters. If you guys have never seen it, I'm sure you've seen it and just don't realize it until you see the poster. But apparently they're coming out with a movie starring Margot Robbie. I mean, the bright spots, you got Tim Burton, who's a very, very unique visionary. And you have Margot Robbie, who's one of the best starlets actress-wise in Hollywood right now. Keoni, is this something that you would be interested in seeing, or do you think that this may just kind of be swept under the rug after a while?
I was immediately going to say no, but I also said that when they announced Barbie. So, this very well could be just this fantastic project. I mean, you have two great names already attached to the film. Tim Burton, we already know. Margot Robbie, of course. Like, that to me is a great starting point. So I'm not going to say no yet, but right now, the concept of the movie doesn't sound great. If it even reaches the emotional / review levels of Barbie, I'd be down.
Yeah.
I'll go watch it. Not by myself, but
I mean, you wouldn't want to go in a theater by yourself to watch a 50-foot tall Margot Robbie?
No, I would not.
We're on YouTube. Everyone can see that now.
Not when I'm editing it.
It's just a freeze.
Or even more, it's just like, Keoni, what do you think? And it just skips to the next story. Like,
now, do you think that this could, because I think a lot of people, I forgot who mentioned it. Someone was in an interview and saying that people completely missed the mark on, or Hollywood is completely missing the mark on the idea of bringing these toy IPs into the movie Hollywood sphere, where people are like, people don't want to see their childhood toys brought to life. They want to see a great movie with a great story, which is what Barbie was. It was about, like, overcoming certain odds as a woman and the strength in how that can be played out.
More movie than Barbie.
Yeah. So do you think that Tim Burton will have that? Because we're pretty knowledgeable of Tim Burton's catalog of movies.
You're gonna say about Barbie. I was like, you put yourself in that category. It's like, both of us, we used to play with Barbies all the time. We used to play
Barbies, right? Forget the Ken doll.
I know. I am not in the same part. Got you. Okay.
But do you think that Tim Burton will have the keen eye to add something deeper to this movie rather than just attack of a 50-foot tall woman?
I think so. I mean, what was the last one that I saw from him? Actually, what was the last live action film that he's produced?
Let me see if I can find it.
It's kind of
Beetlejuice, technically.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I want to say yes. I will say yes because I do think that there's like a cool creative aspect about anything that he's done. Obviously, a little bit more morbid, that whole deal. I don't think it's going to go that route necessarily, but I do think that he is a visionary for a reason. He's one of the most well-known names in Hollywood. I think that there's a good chance that he kind of takes what this film was. I mean, that's the other thing that's really cool. I also think it'd be pretty cool if he maybe even drops in the whole, I don't know what that's considered, like the sepia or just straight black and white kind of, you know what I mean?
The old school
I think
vibe.
that'd be cool. Yeah, I think that'd be a cool thing for him to do, and that's something that I feel like he could do really well if he did throw that out there as something that he wants to try to include in this movie.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things, so I think Tim Burton could do it. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think so.
Right on. All right, moving on to I guess let us know in the comments down below if you're on board with this movie. Would you just be going because it's Tim Burton and Margot Robbie, or do you think that this actually has a shot of being something Oscar
Or are you just going because it's Margot Robbie?
You know, nothing wrong with that. Next news nugget we got. Unfortunately, there has been a move of a very specific, anticipated movie. The Michael Jackson biopic is now moving to the spring of 2026. Antoine Fuqua is behind this film. There was a lot of legal drama on why they had to do movement and reshoots, but there is also some positives that is going to be bringing to the studio. They're splitting it into 2 movies. So the first movie will be his young childhood all the way till when he departs the Jackson 5. And the second film will be taken off as he does his solo career. Kind of looking at it, this movie most likely will probably make upwards of $1 billion. I feel like that's a safe bet to make, right?
I agree with that. Yeah.
What they're doing now with additional, I guess you could say additional reshoots to make sure that the ending is copacetic to all legal proceedings, right? What you're doing now is, if this first movie of him starting off as a child is almost worth $1 billion or worth $1 billion, maybe it's $750 million. Mm-hmm. Now you have a second movie coming out of the more popular part of his life that could also make another $1 billion. And your reshoots or additional filming and photography, that's going to be kind of nil in comparison to what the revenue will bring for a Michael Jackson, one of the, if not the most well-known, popular stars of our past 50 years. Now we have 2 opportunities to see him, one with his young youth and now when he was older, and you have an opportunity to double your money. Are you on the same page as I am for this, Keoni, or are you just more upset that we still got to wait longer to see this movie?
No, I'm more on that side that you're talking about, because I think we talked about it when we first heard the announcement. Huge fans of Michael Jackson, irregardless of like the weird stuff that happened near the tail end of his career. I think a lot of my childhood was Michael Jackson.
Yep.
I said on pod that he's one of the few that I probably teared up a little bit when I heard that he had passed away. Because I remember that was 2009, so I was graduating high school that year that he passed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, to me, was already kind of excited to see what direction they took the first film. We'll be even more excited that they are sort of separating those 2 lives. Like I said before, there's, obviously going to be some of the uncomfortableness of like what they might take it to, that kind of stuff. there's a couple different directions. It does feel like they're heading more in sort of the similar, like what was like that Bob Dylan one they just did with
Complete
Timothy
Unknown.
Chalamet. Kind of feels like they're going that direction where it will be a little more grounded, a little more. It'll have the music and stuff, but it will be more centered around his life, which I'm okay with, honestly. I think it'll be kind of cool to see like sort of the childhood stuff, the music, him growing up, and then having that career, and then having the adulthood stuff where
Yeah,
there might be some uncomfortable stuff in there, but at the end of the
that's what
day,
makes drama.
exactly. And that was part of his life. You know, if depending on, and we've already talked about this, if the family is willing to basically, you know, let this all go through, clearly there has been stuff that may get filtered, who knows, or it'll be their side of things, that kind of deal. Either way, I'm excited for 2 movies to be dropped. So that's actually cool news. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Right
Yeah.
on. Well, let us know what you think down below. Are you excited about the Michael Jackson biopic? Are you excited that it's going to be 2 Michael Jackson biopics? Who knows? Maybe the first one will be called Jackson and the second one will be called Michael. That may kind of make sense, right? In a sense.
Oh.
Yeah. But let us know in the comments down below. Our next news nugget. Something that, you know, I don't think we needed, but could be good for today's youth. Because I think this was kind of a core memory in our 90s comeuppance. Air Bud is returning.
Oh, wow. That is
right?
not what I thought you were going to say.
I know.
Wow.
Quick news nugget on it. This is all they really released, that the Air Bud is going to be returning to movies. You know, this was something very cool. I think at some point, everyone, when they were younger and they had a dog, wanted to see if their dog could do some sort of sport or be impressive in that fashion. Is this something that you're excited about? Do you think that this is very important for today's youth to be a part of now?
I think so. I mean, that was a huge court. Ironically, that wasn't even the part that like I just really wanted to find a basketball court that I could clean up and like make my own. Like, was that not a dream you had?
Yeah.
You find the court and then like you could rebuild and paint the lines and
then
like,
you meet the Looney Tunes and then the Tasmanian Devil goes and just cleans it all up for you.
Stop it.
No?
That would have been cool too, but still 2 different movies. Nolan, stop it. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, that was like one of my bigger dreams, was literally just to be like, oh, I'm just gonna creep in these bushes. What? A basketball court with a lakeside view? Crazy.
Lakeside
so
view.
I swear, didn't it have like some kind of like crazy, like, I swear there was like a water feature behind it, and
Probably,
I was just like,
I don't remember.
like he just found this crazy spot for a basketball court. But yeah, I mean, I think it's really fun that we're gonna bring him back. This is gonna sound terrible and might be make me a little sad, but did original Air Bud?
Well, considering he was in the 90s,
He could still be kicking.
let's just not think about it.
So he's in the air, bud. No, I'm just joking.
This guy stinks. Oh God. Okay. Anyways, that was all we wanted to talk about for Air Bud. Let us know down in the comments below. Were you a big fan of Air Bud growing up?
No, I'm just joking. Just kidding. We're kidding. I'm gonna forget to put that in, so I'm just not gonna throw it. Yeah.
But let us know down below. Are you a fan? Are you excited to see the return of Air Bud into the Hollywood scene? Does this actually seem like a good thing for youth? Let us know. The next news nugget we got. Now, Keoni, you were able to see Lilo and Stitch in theaters. Mm-hmm. And now they currently have the co-creator, Chris Sanders, returning to write the script for the sequel. And it has been announced that they are going to be doing a live-action sequel. Based off of what happened in the first one, do you think that this is going to be a fruitful venture for them?
I think so. If I'm not mistaken, I recall that they will be bringing in some of the elements of the spin-off stuff, but not necessarily going to be a remake of that necessarily. So I think that's a good direction to go. there's rumors of like I forgot what the name of the Pink Stitch girl version of him was, but of her being in there. I guess my only, I guess hesitancy with this entire idea is like there was so much heart in this first one. It obviously wanted to do a service to like the Hawaii culture, having that in there, really showcasing that, having all of these actors from past generations, like you had like the Tia Carrera in there, which was pretty wild to see, her still kicking in the movie sphere. So just a lot of things that like for Hawaii people was really, really cool. I would hope that they don't make another one that would just like completely pull itself away from that aspect of the film, because I don't think that like a Stitch adventure film is going to do great. Like I hope it stays grounded in sort of the Ohana, like, you know what I mean, world, and it's not just like some like let's send Stitch to Hollywood, like one of those weird things, like, you know what I mean, or like him going back to space would also be like not a fruitful venture, if I'm being completely honest. A lot of heart in the first one, a lot of like, for lack of a better term, a lot of aloha in the first one. So it's like, go back that way. You can make a great film that way. I hope they don't go the super far opposite way, because then I feel like they'll try to do a number 3 and we'll just have 2 flops back to back. So yeah. Don't want to see that happen to a beloved franchise.
Yeah, I agree. Lilo and Stitch live action did make just over $1 billion worldwide, so it warrants a sequel. I get it. Money talks. It makes sense. Bringing back the co-creator also makes sense, because you can kind of bring some originality, but also some fresh takes on what they want their baby to evolve into. But let us know down below in the comments what you think about Lilo and Stitch 2's co-creator Chris Sanders jumping on, and maybe give us what your potential storyline would be. Are you with Keoni, keeping it Ohana, keeping it on the island, keeping things central rather than kind of digging out? The next news nugget we got: Booster Gold, which is going to be a part of the new DCU, has landed Our Flag Means Death creator David Jenkins. Now, Booster Gold historically has been a very Guy Gardner-esque character, very kind of yappy, talky. Chris Pratt, if you will. I think he's been in a lot of people's fan casts since he's James Gunn's buddy. I don't think they're going to take Chris Pratt. They're probably going to go younger. Maybe a Glenn Powell, who knows? But Our Flag Means Death is kind of in the vein of, I believe, like a Taika Waititi show. So that kind of makes sense why he's being latched on to this HBO Max series. He also, the character-wise, has also been a part of a lot of collaborations with Blue Beetle. So they did say Cholo Marudueña would be a part of this new DCU. So maybe they're going to bring him in together. That'd be cool. We both saw Cobra Kai. Fantastic. But Keoni, what are your thoughts on them landing this creator?
I mean, that's fantastic. I think that's a cool, funny show. I mean, I think Our Flag Means Death was actually pretty hilarious. I caught a couple of episodes. Not really was like super vested in the show necessarily. Ironically, I think it's because like my HBO Max was about to end and I had like 2 days to watch some episodes.
I gotta watch whatever I can.
I know. I was just like, I'm not gonna resubscribe, but I'll watch a couple of these. But yeah, I thought it was pretty funny. Again, like you said, just very Taika Waititi-esque. I think that makes sense that they bring that in for Booster Gold because of what you described him to be. I have no idea who the character is, what he does, any of that kind of stuff, but I think that's a cool get for them, and shout out to, the Booster Gold fan base, because you got a good one, I think. Because I don't know who that guy is either, you know what I
mean? Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll keep an eye out and see where, I mean, we've talked about it. James Gunn doesn't want to start anything unless they have something written good to go that actually is going to be successful. So the fact that they're adding a creator for a showrunner means that something's on the right track for it, means something good may come out of it. So we'll keep an eye out for it, and hopefully we'll get some casting news soon. But let us know down in the comments below. Are you a fan of Booster Gold? Do you know a little bit about the comic source material? Or are you kind of going in with some fresh eyes just like us?
Mm-hmm.
The next news nugget. I got an opportunity to watch The Studio, which is Seth Rogen's show. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I think it's up for a lot of Emmys this coming award season. And there's a character played by Ike Barinholtz. Now, if you don't know the name, you may recognize the face. He's been around the comedy game for a long time, mainly from Mad TV. But he's also been in certain things. He's been in Neighbors. I think he was in, I forgot what other, he was in a couple other weird, small, like parody movies back in the early 2000s.
I was like, the name sounds very familiar, but I can't think of who the hell that is.
He's a very energetic character.
That guy.
But he is going to be playing Elon Musk in Luca Guadagnino's OpenAI film, Artificial.
Luca Guadagnino.
Sorry, we're totally like just making fun of this guy's name. If you want to come on the podcast and correct us, I'd love for you to.
Yeah, we'd love to have you. Luca Guadagnino.
Okay, we're about to lose all our followers. Our 2 followers.
Luca Guacamole. Okay, keep going.
The life of Elon Musk is kind of a very unique one that has been gone through phases, a lot of phases, both in social, business, political, and now we seem to be getting something actually of his life story in a sense. What do you think of this casting? Do you see this actor actually kind of portraying the mannerisms, or is he going to go too over the top with how, you know, like Elon Musk gets shown in like Saturday Night Live, as opposed to how he really kind of does have his little ticks and turns with his I believe he has Asperger's, if I remember him announcing correctly.
I mean, I think that Ike Barinholtz has sort of that next level in him, you know, because I feel like he's done some movies and stuff where he throws out like a singular emotional moment where you're kind of just like, wow, this guy can kind of act. And then he like pulls it back and then does the comedic thing. And then you're just kind of, you know, oh, okay, there he is again. But to be quite honest, like, I think that he could do it. It's going to be a matter like, I'm not familiar. Does Luca Guadagnino have any other films I'd be familiar with?
Me, but he is a very
escaping me.
He's an Italian director, but he did Call Me by Your Name, Queer, Challengers. Like he's got it. Like he's one of those like
Challengers. Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's like as you said, all those are the only one I actually recognized. I never saw it, but I've heard great things about it. Yeah. I mean, I guess with that being said, I mean, a story with Elon Musk with that sort of tone feels like something that Ike Barinholtz could definitely do. I feel like he just hasn't really been given that shot quite yet. And that's the thing with these comedic actors. You kind of forget that just because they're funny doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad actors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's going to be...
I was going to say, honestly, I do think just after watching it, I think him in The Studio really kind of opened people's eyes to his ability to act. He was still kind of that energetic Hollywood guy in the show, but you see a little bit more things from that.
Oh, well then, I guess with that being thrown in there as well, I think he has a great shot at knocking this out of the park, honestly. Like, this could be sort of his breakout role, so I'm excited for it. We'll be interested to see what the story even is with... I have no idea what Elon Musk's
It's going to be following the story
is,
of a quick firing and rehiring of OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, who will be played by Andrew Garfield.
Oh, so he's not the main guy. Gotcha. Okay, well then
I
that
think
also...
I think it's kind of like a back... I don't know if it's like like, you know how like The Social Network was kind of like both of them, but like we knew it was one person's story, but there was a good amount of screen time for the other guy. Yeah.
That'd be cool, I guess.
Yeah. We'll find out. We'll see. Maybe it's just an Oscar bait movie, because Luca is one of those guys who does things for a home run, not just to get something out on the screen.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, okay.
But let us know down below. Don't let us know if you like Elon or not. Let us know what you think about the casting, because everyone has their own opinions. Next news nugget.
Everyone's so creative. I like that lady. You ever watch those videos? No?
No.
The black lady. That's always like, everyone's so creative. She shows like really disgusting recipes.
Oh. Maybe send
Come
one
on,
later.
get with the times, Nolan. Gosh.
So, anyways, the next news nugget we got. Wednesday has already been renewed for season
What a
3
picture.
without actually having number 2 released yet. The main thing I brought this one into is because we have not seen Wednesday, I think, for 2 years. Two-ish years, right?
I don't even know at this point. Netflix, what are you doing?
Yeah, like, you're bringing out a new show. It's probably 10 episodes, and you already greenlit season 3. Is this season 3 going to film before the release of season 2 or not? Like, I just want to get your take on it. We're seeing a season 3, which is very, very rare for Netflix to do in most cases, because they usually cancel things when just sell it off to whatever. But
if you can sign Jenna Ortega to a multi-year deal, I'm pretty sure that's what they've done at this point. Like, you're buying on the name of Jenna Ortega and not necessarily the fact that you might have a, great show. But with that said, the first season was fantastic. We all kind of talked about it episodically here. So, go back and watch that if you haven't seen it. It's probably like 3 years already. But with that said, I feel like these shows are just taking way too long now. Like, don't get me wrong. I want to see a great product. I want to see them come out, but there is a certain amount of like patience that I have for some of these shows where I'm bought in on the fandom and all that kind of stuff. And then for some of these, like this one's particularly, like, I think the one thing that it does have going for it is that it's not one that you necessarily have to like keep up episodically with. Like if it drops in pieces or if I watch it like here and there, I won't, really like be upset about it. It's kind of like how I watched what is that, the Murders in My Building, Only Murders in the Building or something like that. Yeah, it's like kind of like that. Like I missed like the actual like premiere of the episodes, but I caught up to it and then was kind of like, oh yeah, that was such a good season. That's how I feel about Wednesday. Like I might not watch it week to week. Who knows? Maybe we'll end up watching. I think
they release it in like the full
season.
10. I think that's normally what they do for this one.
Wow.
Because I feel like if it was 10 weeks.
I swear last time it was episodically. Like, maybe not like, or like they dropped it in like threes or something like that. Because I remember specifically being like, damn, like the episode cut off and then we had to wait till the next one. So,
maybe.
I mean, like with these shows, it's like one of those things where I'm like, okay, or better yet, if they drop it as all 10, I might be more interested than like having to wait episodically. Like, then we can binge it and I can make my assessment of how much I liked it or didn't like it. Like to me, that'll be a lot quicker than this like slow burning death that we're receiving by Netflix at this point. Like, goodness, your shows weren't that great. You know what I mean?
Not all of them.
I don't need to wait 5 years for them. And the ones that were good, you canceled. So, goodness. Like, what was the one with Hilary Swank, the space one? Stupid that you canceled that one. Then there was like that Jupiter's Legacy or whatever. Stupid that you canceled that one.
That's fair.
Technically, didn't they cancel the Dreams one? And then they brought it back because everybody.
I think they already filmed the second season, but they said let's just release it because.
Gotcha.
That,
that makes more sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, let us know down below what you think of season 3 of Wednesday being renewed already before the beginning of season 2. Do you even remember season 1 at all? Are you excited for season 2? Let us know. Next news nugget we got: Clayface has been announced as being a true horror film. The movie will officially follow an actor whose face is disfigured by a gangster. As a last resort, the actor turns to a fringe scientist for help. The experiment is successful at first, but quickly turns horrific. They say it's going to be connected to Creature Commandos. I still haven't finished Creature Commandos completely because I kind of just lost interest after a bit. Like, it just wasn't my cup of tea. It was just kind of here and there. But they said it's going to be linked to it in certain ways. I know that he wants to keep things very unified in the new DCU, James Gunn. Now that we're going to get this one, which we still haven't necessarily heard if it's going to be in Elseworlds, if it's going to be in the mainline DCU, and you hear the plot details that it's going to be more of a true horror film. What are your thoughts on this?
In line with Creature Commandos, that doesn't make sense if it's a horror film.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe just like the expansive characters that were a part of Creature Commandos, you know? I don't know. Like Dr. Phosphorus and...
Yeah. I mean, I did finish that season of Creature Commandos. I guess if they're talking about sort of the really like dramatic parts of the show, that does make a good amount of sense. You know, maybe that's what they're talking about. They want to keep that in there, but also make it a horror film. There are definitely ways to do that. We've seen it in the past, obviously. Like, there's a ton of great horror films that have introduced that sort of side of the movie world. I think that could be a cool idea. That's something that, like I said, Clayface is not one that I was super familiar with. I think we talked about it here on the pod, so I got anything that I got as far as like information was through that one episode where we talked about it with Jay.
Most of what I got was from Arkham Knight or Arkham City or something.
Oh yeah, that's right. I completely forgot that. Yeah, you're right. He was in there. Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that. But yeah, so there, those are the things that we know. So I'm not entirely sure how a full-blown movie will go with this character, but I mean, we've talked about it. We're going to give James Gunn the James Gunn pass for now. We'll let him do his thing. I don't want to hate on his world after one movie that I wasn't necessarily fond of. We'll see. We'll see. I definitely think it'll be cool to see a horror film in there. I am just so curious how, with what we just saw from Superman.
Well, I mean, we're in a world now that clearly there's metahumans, there's things that are enhanced. It's not outlandish to have some sort of experiment gone wrong, right?
But just straight horror, like a horror. I'm thinking a horror film, like that name you attach to it. That's where I'm at. Like, I'm like, if he's saying horror, I'm expecting to be frightened in this movie. You know what I mean? Like, whether it's by pure gore or it's just quite literally just the grotesqueness, or if it's actually being frightened in the movie, like, those are what I attach horror to. So it's like, to put that label out there, I mean, geez, man, this guy he's not making it easy for himself, he just keeps. So I'm fingers crossed. I think he can do it. I think it's a very cool concept. I just want to see how this all, and I'm assuming, will this be an Elseworlds thing? You know what I mean? That's where I'm at. Like, I'm confused with this world.
The fact we're bringing that it is going to be like an experiment gone wrong, we have yet to see like what about it is like gone wrong. Like, if they somehow make it some actual medical anomaly, it could be something that's just tied more to Robert Pattinson's. But if they do go just based off of this picture that you see on the screen, actually like grotesque creature that can morph and ooze and everything, then maybe you're looking at this joining the new Batman that they're going to try to come out with.
Gosh, it would be so cool if you could really make it a horror film and attach it to the Pattinson Batman universe. I think that would be such a cool idea if he's just like this crazy thing that just killing people left and right, and that's the whole film. And maybe you like every now and then sneak in like some kind of hint that Batman is like on the lookout for him in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, exactly. Like, that would be such a cool thing to do. Now, having said that, that's probably not what's going to happen. So
you never know. Let us know down below in the comments.
We'll do it.
We'll do it. We'll do
give
it.
us-
Yeah, just cool. 10 million each. You know.
They're like, Director Nolan, how do you want to do this shot? You're like, like upwards, like maybe like.
Let me just wait. Let me get this piece of clay. Just
like, can you
that there?
just like hold it above your head, the camera, and it's just like tilted down. He's like, that's how you want the shot? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Upwards angle, you know.
And I'm going to need 10 cameramen. Just like,
sir, we only
like
have one camera. No.
It's like that cameraman can see the other cameraman like directly in front of him.
We'll fix it in post. Yeah.
She's like, we don't even have editors. It's just like
we have Keoni, Riverside. Keoni, we got this, okay?
You're like, Keoni, put it in Canva. I'm like, what do you think I
It would be
like,
so
what do you
bad.
think I can do with Canva? Like, I can't erase a whole guy. Or
Don't
even
worry,
I
got ChatGPT. We're good.
Something stupid like I just paste like a fire hydrant over that guy.
It's floating too. It's not even. Oh, we would be terrible directors.
We would be terrible.
We'd be great writers.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we should be in the creative room. Like we're just the guy that like throws out all the ideas and then they just kind of reel us in real quick.
Think about it.
We're good.
A pelican who's looking for his child and finds a fish also looking for his child. Isn't that Finding Nemo? No. It's different.
Like, no, it's way different.
Way different.
So this pelican, no.
It was in Australia. We're going to Austria.
He's like, that's Finding Nemo. No.
Anyways, before we go to
I was like,
let us know down below. Are you in on this unique idea? Do you think it's going to be part of the Elseworlds properties? Do you think it's going to be part of the main DCU? Let us know what you think. The next news nugget, bit of bad news. And in regards to things that take forever for a sequel to premiere, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse has been delayed again.
Oh, God. I don't want to talk
this
about this
time,
stupid
delayed
movie.
a few weeks to June 25th, 2027. Now, if you forget, Across the Spider-Verse came out in 2022. So it'll be a full 5 years before we get the final movie in the trilogy. What are your thoughts on this, Keoni? Do you think it really is just have to do with like the writer strike threw everything off board, or do you think they need more time for the visual effects artists, or is this just Sony shooting themselves in the foot somehow over and over again?
Don't get me wrong. I do not understand how difficult it can be to animate a film. Okay, so I want to put that out there before I say what I'm going to say. Nolan, stop laughing. It's not funny. Before I say what I'm going to say, I want to put that out there. I don't know how difficult it can be to animate one of these films. I imagine it's a lot of time. It's a lot of effort. There's a lot of moving parts and things and all that sort of stuff. You know, as somebody who just does baby edits on Canva, I can only imagine what that world is like. It must be crazy. With that said, what else do these people even have going on in their life? The fact that they are attached to this project should tell me, as a casual fan, that this is the one that they're doing. I don't understand how this movie is taking this long. Like, I get it. It's probably hard. There's a lot of things that you have to do.
I can barely draw a straight line correctly, but
exactly.
You guys...
like, yeah, we're putting that out there. We don't know how to do it at all. But I'm just saying, it doesn't make sense that this is taking this long. Like, I think we've gotten to a point where, like, we want to let the creatives have so much control and have so much space to operate that there's a point in time where I'm like, the business side of this there has to be a meeting in the middle for this kind of stuff. It's like, yes, we want it to be great. Yes, we want the creative to be there. Yes, we want it to look fantastic. There also should be a point where it's like, okay, there's a deadline for this. This is your job. Because then, I mean, the other part of this is like, from a business perspective, I gotta imagine, like, you're paying this person by the hour or whatever it is. So it's like, I'm paying you an extra 5 years to get such film. You know what I mean? So, like, a part of me is like, I get it. It's difficult. There's that part of it. But another part of me is like, goodness, 5 years for like the release of this animated film that was supposed to come out this last year, right? Was it last year? Oh yeah, it says it right there, 2024. I was like, it was supposed to come out last year. Like it's wild to me. I mean,
Yeah.
and on top of that, from a fan perspective, I'm just like, again, how long can you actually hold my interest? Like, don't get me wrong, I will love to see it. I'm excited to see it.
I will
really
be there in
want to see
theaters
it.
to watch it.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be there. But it's like the next one, are we going to just keep being like, you know what? This one's going to take 10 years. Like at that point, like how far are we going to go? Like 5 years is such a ridiculous amount of time. A lot can happen. I'm not even sure I'm going to be alive in 5 years, you know? Something could happen in that 5 years. You never know. That's what I'm just saying.
Say that?
You never know. You never
This
know.
got dark. This got dark. Okay. All right. I'm in complete agreement. Obviously, there's a lot
I'm
of
going
things.
to cut that from the...
Yeah, I'm in complete agreement. There's a lot of things we don't know about the visual effects departments and how they work and what it really takes
We don't,
to do.
yeah. We know it's
That being said, what is going on, guys? Is this what is going on? But let us know down below. Maybe
this
you
is
guys
your
have a little
9 to
more
5. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where I'm at. It's like
9 to 5.
if my job said your deadline, you know what I mean, is this time, that's when it's getting done by. So that's where I'm at. Is like, what are we even doing? Like, what are those people doing that is taking them away from this project and or holding them up this long?
Yeah.
Did somebody delete something accidentally? I don't know how files work. Maybe that's not how it works. But you know what I mean? Like, oh, great. We deleted Spider-Man from all the... Yeah. She's like, we're just using the terms we know. It's like Canva didn't allow me to...
the Adobe. Yeah, that darn thing. Anyways.
Shout out to Canva, you know? I know we're disrespecting you, but
you brought us
have
this.
saved us
Come on.
so much. Exactly. Look at us. Look at us.
But let us know down below. Maybe you guys have some more information. Maybe you guys have read stuff, maybe why it's been delayed a little bit more than it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're a part of the world of visual effects and visual animators, and how this kind of comes to play. But let us know. Next news nugget, or multiple news nuggets. Keoni, this is going to be a variety of things that were said from Sir Kevin Feige. He had an interview with a lot of different journalists, and he came up with a lot of different things that were going. Don't necessarily take the word verbatim on there. There were some things that he talked about where he saw Superman, he enjoyed it. Lower budgets, less movies, things coming out. That wasn't necessarily the news nuggets that I picked up from his conversations that he had over the last weekend/week. One of the first ones is saying that Spider-Man Brand New Day is going to be a street-level story. Him being dedicated to himself, dedicated to saving the city, and dealing with, for lack of better terms, street-level crime, as opposed to world-ending events. So we're getting a return to a home base for Spider-Man. Also included in that news nugget, if I remember correctly, Kevin Feige also said they're not allowed to bring in Miles Morales into the MCU yet, and they've been told to stay away. Based off of that, any thoughts regarding the new Spider-Man coming out? We've talked about where we have hypothesized maybe they'll drop in a Miles, but apparently that's completely off the table.
Yeah, both of those is troubling. Both of those are very troubling, you know? Because for the first part of that, with the street level stuff, what we wanted to see, right?
Yeah.
But I again, we're in this weird muddled MCU point where, oh gosh, I'm trying to figure out the best way to say this. I feel, and I don't think this is any sort of like spoilery thing, but as somebody who has watched the most recent one,
Fantastic Four, for those who aren't aware.
There you go. I didn't want it, but there's a direction we're going now, right? So I feel like that's a really cool. I feel like start is the best way to say it, because it does feel like the start of something that we're technically in the next phase at this point, right? Like the last phase just ended with the last crop of shows and all that kind of stuff. So this is the beginning of the new phase. And not just from like a larger MCU universe, right? Like this is like the beginning of like the next phase of Marvel in general, because clearly like there's been a lot on the table as far as like what Kevin Feige has put out there, how he wants to reset everything, all that sort of stuff. So again, we're not going to necessarily be in the muddled part of the MCU, quite like we're like heading into the future. So I just feel like the way that the Spider-Man release is happening, right? The next movie is Avengers Doomsday, then it's supposed to be the Spider-Man, then the
I'm okay.
it's between.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I mean, technically, if that's the truth, Spider-Man will be releasing in 1 year. So I'm anticipating a date change, because since they moved it, now Spider-Man is ahead of Doomsday, because Doomsday moved up to December, remember? So they haven't started filming, from my understanding, because Tom Holland is still doing Christopher Nolan's Odyssey film. So there's no way that that film is starting anytime soon. So that means for sure that that movie is being shifted somewhere else. And I'm going to assume, if what he's saying is true, Brand New Day, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to assume that it's going to be shifted to after Secret Wars.
Oh.
Because
are they filming both right now? Is that what the rumor
so.
or the idea is right now?
Because it doesn't make sense for them to have that kind of weird change of pace where it's like street level and then back to Avengers and street level kind of.
I know, but that was the original plan, right? Like,
yes,
technically speaking, right now it's slated for Doomsday, Spider-Man, Secret Wars.
Because Doomsday moved up or back, it's Spider-Man, Doomsday, Secret Wars.
Yeah, there's no way. There's just zero chance. Yeah. So I mean, given that now, irregardless, I feel like the next one has to be Doomsday. To me, that feels like the next point we're going to. I don't see how they've done anything for Spider-Man at this point, unless you're going full blown body double CGI stuff and then just like throwing Tom Holland in there like for like 2 minutes. Like, doesn't really make sense. So with that said, again, how are we going to go back to Brand New Day, street level? Like, I guess in a sense, if it's taking the formula of like what they did with Endgame or Infinity War, and maybe they lose, you know what I mean, in this first one, then it makes sense. Maybe it's like a brand new day, and he's like living as Peter Parker in this whole completely different,
and then the post credits like, we need you, Spider-Man.
I don't know. See, that's where I'm kind of like, this is where I was going to get to, is like, I feel like the idea that he will have this entire film be completely separate from what is going on in the Avengers world just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I don't see how that's even possible. Like,
I don't either.
Irregardless of if it's a reset, if it's some, like, to me, it feels like if it is going to be a majority of the stuff that he said, right? It starts off with the streets. Maybe that's the first act. Maybe it's the first and second act. Maybe it's not until the third act that we get something different. To me, there still has to be that third act thing. And we've already seen, I mean, I don't know, is that on here, the rumors about who else is popping up in this one?
In Spider-Man?
I didn't want to announce it if you've already said it or you're planning on saying it. Yeah,
no,
in
go
the
ahead.
Spider-Man film. Okay. I was just going to say, like, how it's rumored that, like, supposedly there will also be Bernthal and Mark Ruffalo in this one.
Yeah. Oh, we talked about that before, though.
Yeah, okay. I just wasn't. I couldn't recall if that was something we already said on pod, so I didn't want to like spoil it if you were going to say it. But
yeah,
that's my point. It's like, if that's supposed to happen, which I imagine is more likely than not going to happen, that just makes sense. The storyline makes sense. What might happen makes sense. How it's going to tie in also makes sense. Like, to me, there's just zero chance that it's going to be exactly what Feige is saying. I get it. He's playing coy. He's doing his Feige thing. But to me, it's just, there's no way. There's zero chance. Like, if you're not going to bring Miles Morales, it has to be that thing.
Yeah.
I don't think that a Spider-Man film can just succeed on its own, because it'll be sort of like that weird Ant-Man white noise feel. You know what I mean? Like, where they threw in Ant-Man, the second one was Ant-Man and the Wasp. Yeah. Just randomly threw it in there, had nothing to do, and then sort of tied in later, but like not really. Yeah. Like, that would be stupid. Don't do that.
Yeah. Fair enough. which kind of brings me to my next point, where if it does, let's say they shift it completely after Secret Wars, Kevin Feige also has announced that Avengers Secret Wars is planned to reset singular timelines and reboot the MCU, quote unquote. The MCU plan is 7 years long currently, and it will go into 2032 for what they have currently slated. That being mentioned as well, he indicates that the iconic Marvel characters like Iron Man and Captain America will eventually be recast. They're now searching for a new James Bond. David Cornsway is the new Superman, so he said that kind of stuff is awesome, and this is going to be very similar and always will be the case. So, kind of going based off of what we just discussed with Spider-Man, Secret Wars is set to reset everything. You know, what if it does move after it, and then now you have Spider-Man kicking off post-Avengers movie of what's going to be the new singular timeline, and he's working street level, and then you're kind of building off of that moving forward.
That could work. I'm not gonna lie. That's not what I would want to see, though.
Okay.
Being completely honest, I just can't like. To me, I'm sorry. Like, I mean, we've discussed this a bunch of times. I am not bought in on Tom Holland being the guy that like carries the torch for the MCU heading into this next venture. Like, and I'm not saying that this is not necessarily what they're doing for him, but if that is the case and he ends up being the first movie out of Secret Wars, I don't see it. Like, to me, like, I can't buy into that world where now we're having like Spider-Man be the first leading man out. Like, to me, it has to be. I'm trying to think who's even available at this point.
Exactly.
Like, to me, like if the next one was the X-Men,
okay,
that makes a ton of sense.
Actually,
go ahead.
Also in Kevin Feige's interviews, he says Jack Schreier, who did Thunderbolts, is officially signed on to direct X-Men and is starting now on writing the script. So potentially that could be in play as well.
See, that's okay. So that's what I'm saying. My ideal timeline scenario for these MCU movies is Doomsday, Spider-Man, Secret Wars, and then start off this brand new universe with the original or with the new iteration of the X-Men. Yes, I want to see that so bad. Like, I think that would be such a cool way to kick off the new universe. I'm such a big X-Men fan. I would have loved to have seen them sort of do a cool like solo film, then link up the deal, but obviously it's one of those things where I feel like you kind of have to just put them together at this point just because people are waiting so long for this. Like,
I mean, there's a chance maybe we get introduced to the main core guys in Secret Wars that they've been keeping under wraps, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, it would be cool to get like the new iteration of like whatever team they have. I'm still going to put it out there. I think it'd be really cool if they went back like to the original of like Angel and like, you know what I mean? Like that iteration of like the X-Men.
Yeah.
And then sort of build off of that later just by adding new ones later. That would be my ideal. I don't want to see the next iteration of Marvel start off with Tom Holland Spider-Man. I'm just going to be real blunt and honest. I know he's a great actor. I know he's a cool character. Spider-Man is obviously going to be one of the top characters for everybody who is a superhero fan, but I personally just don't want to see the Tom Holland-led Marvel universe. Like, to me, I'd much rather see pretty much anybody else. At this point,
Fair enough.
Outside of The Rock, not The Rock.
Fair enough. The last note we have from Kevin Feige that I brought into our news nuggets today. Apparently, he reveals that they had already planned to shift from Kang to Doctor Doom before Jonathan Majors was fired. He said, I had started talking with Robert about this audacious idea for Doctor Doom before Ant-Man 3 had even come out. So kind of seemingly saying that we knew that Kang was not going to go anywhere and that we had I read it as, I know a lot of people are going to see it like, oh, they failed and they knew they were failing. I see it more as like he's a studio head and he's like, hey, I've seen what we just created with this. It's not going to work. I need to come up with a contingency plan. Robert, what do you think of this? I think this is a good studio head move, like where he kind of already had the idea that it wasn't. He just didn't be like, no, I believe in it. Don't worry, it's gonna pan out. And he kind of moved on to already figuring out Doctor Doom plans.
I think it's all cap, honestly. Like,
Ooh.
I don't think he truly meant to. I mean, to keep it a buck, what was Robert Downey Jr. even really doing? Like, he just did Oppenheimer. Was he like? Was he really signed up to do anything else after that?
No.
I mean, I feel like he was just writing the residuals of like the Marvel universe at this point. We already know how much money he's made throughout these films. If they came a call in, you know he was going to come right back. Yeah, I mean, it's cap. I mean, to be completely blunt, like I just don't see how he had planned to do that. They already clearly had an Avengers Kang Dynasty thing come out, so it's like you clearly meant to go through with the Kang thing. I think eventually, and maybe he did have the conversation with Robert Downey Jr., but I think that it would have been post Kang Dynasty stuff. Like, I think that would have been something he led to eventually. Maybe he didn't want it to be this way right now, but he's going to say what he has to say to make it seem like this was the plan all along. Come on, Kev. Come on. That's Kev.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's Kev. Come on.
Well, let us know what you think down below about these comments from Kevin Feige. Obviously, there's some additional things that he said. Not necessarily big pieces, so I didn't add them into today's news nuggets. But these are just like the clip notes of certain things that we would like to talk about here. Let us know what you think.
Watch them drop a Spider-Man thing next week, like a Spider-Man trailer. Just be like, what? How did they even film all of that?
They're just like, yeah, we listened to this like little known podcast, and they were talking smack about us not actually having anything ready to go. So we said, fuck you, Poi N Soy.
They said our name.
Oh my god! I would be. I was
like, I'm tagging that ish everywhere.
That'll do it for the news nuggets this week. Moving on. You know what? I think we're just gonna accelerate to like the last trailer. Does that sound fair?
Jaffiel.
Yeah.
Jaffiel.
The last trailer we got, or the only trailer we got today for you, is gonna be Predator Badlands. Now, this is the secondary trailer, but we're getting a better story beat of what's going on. It seems to be kind of a little bit more of a buddy cop film, if you can even call it that, where Elle Fanning is acting as kind of his confidant in his very first hunt. And of course, he chooses the planet with the most unbeatable or unkillable creature. And this predator is trying to, I guess you say, earn his stripes in order to become like a full-fledged. A lot more action scenes, a lot more to it. You see him talk a bit. You see him go through the motions. You see her kind of personality as one of the Wayland, what are they called? Synthetics, right? What were your thoughts on this kind of full-blown trailer for Predator Badlands?
I will say, first time I saw it was last night at the theater, so that was really cool.
Right on.
Definitely gave me that sort of like, wow, I want to see this in the theater now, because it had that, just had all the visual stuff. So also very sad that the theater was just kind of empty. People go to the theaters. You know what I mean? Like almost 6 o'clock. It was like 5:50 was the time that I went to see it. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, it was nighttime. It was definitely like movie going time. So I went there and I was kind of like expecting to see a big crowd. And I was like, wow.
There's nobody.
And it was like the theater is very empty outside of me and my friends. So, yeah, I mean, with that said, loved the trailer. I think it's really, really cool to see this different take on the Predator world, because as we've already seen from the Predator, what was the other one called? Animated one.
Predator Killer of Killers.
Killer of Killers. Gosh, that was so good. So the lore of the Predators can be so damn cool. I think that this is sort of expanding that world. So again, really, really, really cool for them to kind of throw that in there. Also funny because I feel like I wonder if they probably were going to reveal it anyway, but I just feel like initially, like they kind of gave you like this, is Elle like a human? Is she because then they kind of threw out that she was a synthetic, but that they didn't. So it kind of made you like, what's going on with her eyes and stuff. Yeah. Now they went full blown, showed. She essentially is going to be like the voice and the emotion, I feel like, throughout the entire thing. So
And I think this was the only way they could have made this, because I know that they said the root idea was to have, what if the Predator was the good guy? And the only way you could have made this is if you were void of any humans. You can't have any humans there. Or I was gonna say you can't have any humans, because then you'd be rooting for the humans, right?
Yeah. I was just gonna say, like, you can't just have him be talking. That would also be. I mean, like, obviously he talked, but like,
hey
to
man,
have him,
how's it going?
He's like, we're gonna get these guys. Like, I feel like,
yeah, just Johnny, I'm tired.
It would have just been a weird thing to see. Like, I feel like that would have been a little too jarring. So I'm glad that they gave him a voice through her. She can kind of just be there for like the commentary stuff. Yeah. So yeah, all in all, very fun. I thought you have the shot right there where he's literally holding her up with like the half of the body thing.
She's
I think that's like just, like it's just such a funny concept in general. But yeah, very similar to what's his name from the Prometheus film.
David Michael Fassbender's kind of.
Yeah,
character? Michael
Fassbender. Yeah, just the way that she acted, like it was like very like oh hello, like that kind of. Anyway, so really really good. Really excited to see it. Yeah, I'm kind of stoked now. I didn't think I'd really want to see it.
The more action that they played, I was like, okay, I'm down.
Okay.
I'm down.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, and not to mention the concept is really cool. It's like you had to pick the one planet. Well, I'm like, okay. He's like, you
the one cool planet. All right.
That's why I'm down. Yeah. Also need to live action that Killer of Killers thing. Come on. What are we doing?
Well, I think it's supposed to be like in canon with these films in a sense. So maybe the next film will be.
I did not know that.
I think that's what the idea was. Because Dan Trachtenberg, cool. The director of this one, was the one who did the Killer of Killers.
And I know he's getting older, but Hiroyuki Sanada, just bring him in. Just
saying, y'all.
Jeez, a samurai. Him. Come on, he just
did Mortal Kombat 2. He's still got his prime.
That would have been so dope, dude. Yeah.
But yeah, let us know down in the comments below. Are you excited for Predator Badlands? Are you on board with the resurgence of this franchise and what it's going to bring to us on the silver screen? But that'll do it for us here on this segment of post credits. Thank you guys for joining us.
Well done with your
slideshow.
Show.
Thank you.
That's all I was going to say. No, but I was just going to say, yeah, excited for the movie season. I'm not going to say anything about the film that I saw because we're going to talk about that later. But yeah
stay tuned for our Fantastic Four movie review coming at you hot.
Damn right. And then what was the last thing I was going to say? Chief of War comes out next week. So
August 1st.
Yeah. I am so stoked. And if you've seen the latest trailer, goodness. Well done, Jason Momoa. Well done.
Thank you guys so much for joining us and making us a part of your day. We enjoyed having you be a part of ours. From all of us here at Poi N Soy, good vibes and love, everybody.
Bang, bang.